You are now watching The Lone Blown. Blown! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? You're back here at The Lone Blown. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Today we're going to be going over an Eternatus VMAX deck list brought to you by a tournament winner, Eddie Bulmer. You can follow them on Twitter at Adhesive TCG. They recently did really well with this deck, winning the Flygon Open if I'm not mistaken. And I really vibe with their list. I think it's a really good call for this metagame if you're playing Eternatus at this moment. So, what does Eternatus do? Well, Eternatus came out in Darkness Ablaze. This is the promo copy. If you're looking for this copy or any other cool cards, head over to PTCGO pick up some online TCGO codes, and you can get all the cards you need. You can use code ZLASAGE5 to save 5% off your order. You can also check that out in the description along with some other stuff that we have from some of the sponsors. You can get the deck list, the copy and pasteable. So check out all that over there. Jumping back into it, Eternatus, you have enough. You just put Pokemon in play until you can do a lot of damage with Dread End. Eternal Zone allows you to do more damage than normal. Well, benching more Pokemon, which allows you to do more damage than normal. So Dread End with up to 9 Pokemon in play, 1 in the active, 8 on the bench, you could do 270 damage with Dread End. You could also do more damage with Zigzagoon, so maybe if your opponent's Pokemon is an Arceus Dialga ADP, you could do an extra 10 damage to knock them out at 280. So let's go through some of the cards in this deck and kind of really explain how it goes. Crobat V is a support Pokemon that's played in many decks, but it also is Dark type, which means that you need to be playing Dark type Pokemon for Eternal Zone. It should be noted that you can only bench extra Pokemon that are Dark type. You can't put non-Dark type Pokemon into play regardless for Eternatus VMAX. So we just only need to play Dark type Pokemon. This is one of the best Dark type Pokemon. If you look through all the Dark basics, you'll be like, Crobat's definitely the best one. This allows us to use Dark Asset, but since we do have Dark Energies, don't sleep on Venomous Fang either. It will be able to get it through Zamazenta. I mean, is it the best way to get through Zamazenta? But it can get through there, so do keep that in mind. We have Eternatus V, which allows us to use Power Accelerator. I've never actually used Dynamax Cannon because this deck doesn't really have energy acceleration, but it does seem like it could be really cool if you could ever get it off. Now, I mean, it's much better to be using Dread End in most cases for 270 damage, but I think Power Accelerator is where it's at here. Again, this is a promo card. There are the Darkness Ablaze versions, but feel free to use whatever version you feel fancy with. Power Accelerator is cool if you want to accelerate other energies in a matchup that plays Crushing Hammer. Beyond that, you just basically, this Pokemon is evolving into Eternatus VMAX. Galarian Zigzagoon is a Dark type Pokemon that you can put on your bench to do extra damage for Dread End, but you could also use Headbutt Tantrum to place damage counters to kind of make sure that you're getting those one-shots or concentrating to get the correct numbers of whatever you're searching for. Hoopa allows you to have a single energy attacker that you could just bring up from the active. This allows you to get through things. Well, I mean, you would be able to get through things like Decigoons and stuff like that, but Assault Gates, it's not going to be enough for those particular matchups. It should be noted that this deck is not teched for really any particular matchups. It's more of just a general metagame call. Assault Gate would be a really good attack against like a Baby Blacephalon deck. So instead of leaving a 200 or a 340 HP Pokemon in the active spots, it might be better just to have a Pokemon that your opponent would have to discard a bunch of energies or would have to go through a little bit more efforts to get to this Pokemon. Don't give them all the prize. Yveltal has a free retreat cost, which is extremely notable because you have a free pivot every time your Pokemon get knocked out. Derail allows you to discard a special energy, and Clutch could come in clutch, no pun intended. We also have Crushing Hammers in this deck. Hammers go burr, right? You could discard your opponent's energies while you are getting yourself set up and put yourself in a position where you just have a very strong lead. We have Dangerous Drill. You could pitch a Dark Pokemon from your hand, which shouldn't be any issue with 18 copies in the deck. You could discard a tool, a special energy, or a stadium card in play. I mean, Dangerous Drill has been hit or miss for me in my testing, but I think it has a good place in the Disruption build of this deck. Great Ball is just to search out Pokemon. A lot of the times after the beginning turn of the game, you don't really care what you're getting out, which means Great Ball is literally great at grabbing what you want. A couple copies of Communication allow you to get whatever you need out. Quick Balls, the deck has mainly basic Pokemon. The only evolved Pokemon would be Eternatus VMAX. Reset Stamp is a great card just to throw your opponent's hand back into the blender. Switch, just so you have some mobility in between your Pokemon. Maybe you have a damaged Eternatus, you want to set up another one. Power Plant, we do not have any GX or EX Pokemon in this deck, so we don't need to worry about our abilities going down, but to our opponents who are playing Dedenne GX or Corio GX, etc., maybe even Mewtwo, that would really hurt a lot for them. Boss orders, we got 4 copies. We just want to bring up whatever we want, get those one-shots. Marnies, we could kind of, again, similar to Reset Stamp, put our opponent's hands back into the blender. Research, we just need to draw cards. Research is the best supporter that we have in formats for draw power. And then we have 9 copies of Dark Energies. So Eddie kind of came up with a super clean list. I'm not entirely sure if they're crediting it to anyone else, but I think that this is a really great start to playing Eternatus. If I was playing Eternatus in an event, I would play a very similar list to this, if not this exact same list. So let's give some lists. Let's give this deck some tests, see exactly how it goes, play a few games, and before we get into those games, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, a like, subscribe if you love the Pokemon content. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up, but I know that a lot of the peeps who watch this channel love Eternatus, so I wanted to give you an updated version with Vivid Voltage. Alright, let's go check it out, and away we go. So here we get the trusty coin flip. What are we going to go with here? Let's go with heads. Okay, we won the flip, that's awesome. This is a deck that always wants to go first, yes. I think it's so much better to go first with this deck because you can just get an energy on an Eternatus and kind of bop your opponent around. You can see our start's not anything spectacular, but next turn I could be swinging for 270, so it's really not that bad. Eternatus doesn't allow, you don't really do a lot on your first turn anyways, unless you're struggling to find an Eternatus and an energy. So, looks like our opponent's probably playing Pikarom, which should be an okay matchup for us as long as they don't play hammers. We're just going to put a Dark Energy down and pass. Give our opponent the heart. And let's see exactly how it goes. Gotta cross our fingers our opponent does not play Crushing Hammers. And if you're playing in any of the online events or even using the play.limitless website, you should be able to see your opponent's decks because most tournaments are open decklist nowadays. I mean, most online tournaments are open decklist nowadays. So we could totally see what our opponent would be playing if we were playing in a real event. But with it just being PTCGO ladder, a little bit less less competitive, it should be. We're gonna find out. It should be fun. Again, just really hoping our opponent does not. Maybe they'll just go right into an Electrify, onto Raichu. Maybe they'll go right into Pika. They haven't played a supporter yet. Because Pikarom could play Crushing Hammer or Team Yell Grunt. But the fact that we'll have a second Dark Energy on this Eternatus makes me feel a lot better. So let's just go like this. See, if we had a Crobat, we might have even gone after the Pika. So we could just try to take away one of their energies. Perfect. Since we're likely going to knock out the Boltons, I feel pretty good about this. We're not too worried about other energies on our opponent's Pokemon, the HP on their other Pokemon. So I really want to try to knock out the Bolton this turn. Since if I can get them to 180 HP, that'd be the closest number. That would be to 30. So you can see that 190, 200, 190 are not there. So let's see if I can get to that number. And you want to know what? That was very, very good hands. I'm going to go Quick Ball here to grab... Do we get another... We'll grab another Zigzagoon. There's a Hoopa. There's a Zigzagoon. So now we just need to put down our Pokemon. I'm going to save the Quick Ball for the Crobat afterwards, just so that we can grab something, maybe discarding something we don't need. Yveltal's for your treat, but before we go in with anything, let's see what Great Ball can do for us. See, I probably should have discarded the Great Ball. That seems like my mistake. I will go with Crushing Hammer. Maybe we could just wipe those energies off the Pika. I'm just going to go like this. I feel fine grabbing another Eternatus V. And there we go. So turn 2 knockout for 2 energies. We were able to go over the Bolton's HP, but if we weren't able to go over the Bolton's HP, that's one thing that we gotta worry about. Now we might need to worry if our opponent puts what's it called? If they put a Big Charm. That's the word that I'm definitely looking for. A Big Charm on the Raichu. But beyond that, we should be okay. The Big Charm would just give them an extra 30 HP, which means we'd have to put 2 on this Pokemon. 2 Zigzagoon pings. And they do play Crushing Hammers after all. They might not even be able to get the energy necessary. They need to get a Tapu Koko Prism Star, and they need to get an energy switch. And they currently don't have a way to get around the Power Plants. Our opponent likely plays Chaotic Swell, but just kind of vibing here. Yeah, I don't know if if they don't get the energy, we're just a boss away from taking them basically out of this game. Unless, of course, they can find another Crushing Hammer. There might be even the dreadful moment where they grab a Dedenne GX and try to play it under Power Plant without realizing. Okay, so they do have the Prism Star. And our opponent's still just thinking here a little bit more. Just sometimes you gotta vibe out while your opponent's thinking. There's that Dedenne. I don't know if putting the other Pokemon with 3 prize cards is worthwhile. Oh, they do have the energy switch. Crazy. But now they have a 0 card hands because of Power Plants. You can see that this should be basically it. It's just really tough for them at this point. I can go Pokemon Communication here, get on my other Eternatus VMAX. And we're already here with enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's a knockout right there. So if our opponent doesn't get an energy to use their GX attack to knock us out, they just lose the game. And they have 0 cards in their hands, which makes this really difficult for our opponents. Oh wow. The Crobat top deck was actually amazing there for them. So now we just gotta vibe out on our opponent getting the knockout. I mean, it's very likely that they would have had that energy. Now we just gotta build up on this Eternatus VMAX. And they got a Reset Stamp. Oh no. Maybe we'll get a Crobat too. I mean, at least we got an energy. But very unfortunate for us that our opponent was able to top deck a Crobat V after their misplay of not realizing the power plant. So we'll just end up this Yveltal. The Yveltal has free retreat. I'm totally fine with this. We haven't played many supporters this game yet either. Cool. Crushing Hammer to me doesn't really matter too much. We actually got a much worse hand than I thought we would. How many energy switches have our opponent used? 2 copies. I think we'll just vibe out here, collecting Pokemon on the bench. And yeah, I think Crushing Hammer is fine. The only reason why I'm saying Crushing Hammer is fine is if our opponent puts our hand back again. So we'll have to see exactly what goes on here. They've already played through at least 1 Crushing Hammer. So I mean, as long as we could survive a few turns, I think we're probably okay in this match. But I'm not entirely sure here how it's gonna go. And now they can play the Dedenne GX because there's no power plant in play. Perfect, a Crushing Hammer Tails, that's exactly what we're hoping for. But if we're going by any numbers, our opponent should probably get 1 more Crushing Hammer heads by the end of the game to go 2 for 4. That's all you can ever hope for when it comes to Crushing Hammer. So there's 2 for 3. Uh-oh. They're gonna hit for 160 with Tandem Shock, Paralyzing, and just kind of like hoping that we don't really get too much. That's fine if they want to use boss orders. I'm totally cool with that. I don't know if it makes sense to attach to the Dedenne, but let's just go switch here, and then I'm just gonna pass. So we're down to 1 card left in our hands, and we're just basically waiting for like a Quick Ball, a Great Ball, a Crobat, a Research, a Marnie. There's a lot of cards. We do only have 4 energies left though, so that's something that we do gotta watch out for. Okay, there's a Great Ball grabbing an Eternatus V. No, let's switch into this. You can see that the Reset Stamp is absolutely killing us. But we're just going to sacrifice and play this game as long as we possibly can. Normally this can be a pretty strong matchup. The Crushing Hammers really can hurt. And the Reset Stamps really can hurt, so that's one thing you got to watch out for Eternatus. I'd say that this game's getting a little bit unlucky for me right now, but we might be able to change that luck. Let's put this Pokemon down, just so that we can have Pokemon down. Yes, I'm going to do this, retreat. And then let's go for power. Oh, power accelerator might be... No, we're fine. They can't knock us out. So if they don't have win in hand, I think we're pretty good to get it next turn. The reason for the late game power accelerator allows us to have energy on both of our Pokemon. There's an energy. Please don't have an energy switch. I mean, they've already used 2. A lot of lists only play 2. So maybe they're just hoping that we don't have it. This might be a really close game, everyone. I like the emotes. They're kind of hilarious. Okay, so we do have a Quick Ball. I think the Quick Ball is completely fine. That's probably just going to take an energy off the Eternatus VMAX. And what's our opponent going to do? Probably just pass? They're just going to make us paralyzed. Okay, well, we're going to try to go in for the win here. So let's go Quick Ball, discarding a Reset Stamp. We have an Eternatus V and an Energy left into our deck. So we're just going to grab nothing because we're going to use Crobat to draw 6 cards. Let's Reset Stamp our opponent, which could put them in a really rough position. We'll switch into the Yveltal because it has free retreat, and then we're going to put Crobat down to draw 6 cards. And we have the boss orders as well, so that's how you can bring back that game from the Reset Stamp. Sometimes you gotta play to all your outs. Whoa. So here we are, our opponent's calling the coin flip. Let's see exactly if we're able to go first again, crossing our fingers. We do like going first with our deck. What they gonna call? What they gonna call? Where they at? Hey, we won the flip. Do you want to go first? Yes. Of course what we want to see. And here we are with an Eternatus and an Energy on our first turn. Sounds like an absolute jam. Now, our opponent looks like they're playing Lapras, maybe Inteleon, or Darmanitan. Let's try to search something out with Great Ball. It's better to use Great Ball here first than Quick Ball because there's more Pokemon in the deck. Quick Ball takes Pokemon out of the deck, which lowers the chances of Great Ball connecting. So we are able to get the Eternatus. Let's go ahead here and pop off this boss orders. You do want to try to use Crobat per turn, and the reason why is because you can only use Dark Asset once per turn. So here we could just continuously get set up, and then next turn we could use Crobat again. You see how we have another Crobat that we wouldn't have been able to use? Here I'm fine with my outs because we have a decent bit of Pokemon in play. Should be able to get if our opponent doesn't do much, we should be able to get the win. So let's go pass. I think this would be a good matchup if you ask me, like, depending on what our opponent plays down. They're playing Crushing Hammers. Okay, if they're playing Inteleon, this might be a little bit more of a difficult matchup. I don't know why they put Eldegoss down. Maybe. Wait, what? I don't know what happened there, but I guess we'll take that win. The Crushing Hammer heads was really awkward, but sometimes it happens. So here, it looks like we're playing against Mr. Enjoy Friend, Andrew Mahone themselves. We won the coin flip. Would we like to go first? Yes. Andrew's known for playing Pikarom, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're playing against a Pikarom right here, right now. So let's, we start with Eternatus. We have an Energy. I mean, I can't complain too much about this hands. Oh, there's a Pikachu V. Okay, let's just go Dark Energy here. I don't know if we need to be worried about what our opponent could do, but I am going to go ahead and Crobat here a little early. Oh, getting the third Eternatus VMAX is gross. Let's just pass here and hope. Our hand here is absolutely terrible, considering we have 3 Eternatus VMAX. Our hand is clogged with Pokemon that look like hands. So I don't know if this is a Pikachu VMAX deck or whatever else we're going to be facing against, but okay, that is a Pikachu VMAX. I wish I could have read that a little bit more. It's not a card that I'm 100% up to speed on, but it does look like it's a lightning package here. So there's the Electrode that can go Bazap. I very much want to target this Pikachu if that's possible. And I can imagine it with the extra prize cards, there might be some other things that, with Electrode giving up prize cards with its Bazap generator, there might be other things like Lieutenant Surge in this deck, or modifiers that work with that. I'm not entirely sure. Either that or it's just the best way to accelerate Pikachu VMAX. Are they just gonna go charge? Like, I don't even think they want to go charge. It's a weird. I'm sure they're probably like Eternatus. Interesting. Huh. Seems like they're just waiting it out, seeing exactly what's the best course of action. So kind of like how we played our first game with Pika, it might be better for us to place damage counters on our Pokemon, on their Pokemons with Zigzagoon, so we could try to get the damage off. Okay. There's this, there's this, there's this, there's this, and... One, two, three. So we're not going to be able to get it. Let's go Dread Ends. So not enough for a knockout. We're 10 damage off. The reason why I put the 10 damage on there with the Zigzagoon is because if we get a Zigzagoon or a Quick Ball, we get 2 free prize cards. So, our hand here, a little bit dead. No Crobat, no Quick Ball, no Great Ball, no Pokemon Communication. There's our Chonk Pikachu. We could do 270 damage with G-Max Volt Tackle. And that card looks so cool. I mean, I think our next turn is pretty self-explanatory. I think we just go one... I think we attack right into there, depending on whatever we top deck. Attach an energy. Maybe evolve. Yeah, 270. Wow, they're gonna go with all the energies there. Crazy. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, perfect. There's our Quick Ball. We can't get rid of another Eternatus VMAX, so we are gonna Quick Ball this away. I would love to grab a Zigzagoon. I'm not that risky. So let's draw our fresh hands, and you can see we got some Zigzagoon pals here. So let's go for Zigzagoon going down. There's 2 prize cards for us. Please get a Dark Energy. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. We did get a Dark Energy. That's awesome. We can start powering this up. And I don't really think there's anything else we want to do beyond just attacking here with Dread Ends. Maybe I could have put down another Pokemon. Honestly, I'm not super worried about it. Anything could really get the knockout. I can get the knockout with a Hoopa next turn. We couldn't have really got into anything that could bring up this Pikachu V or the Voltorb, but it should be noted that our opponent probably can't use Electrode because this Pokemon's going to get knocked out. Which would be 1 prize card there, 3 prize cards there. They do have Vitality Band. You can see we caught them with the Power Plants, and they're just going to concede. Good games, Andrew. If you get to watch this video, I don't know if you watch other YouTube videos, really appreciate the game. Best of luck, and watch out for those Power Plants. So as you saw, we took the Eternatus VMAX into a win against Pikarom. Very close game. A concession against a Frostmoth variant, and we were even able to take down Mr. Andrew Mahone himself in the last game at Enjoy Friend. I mean, Eternatus seems like it's been doing really well. Whether or not you're at your last moment, the deck has so many outs to draw into Crobat. This deck's just super consistent, super powerful, super easy to play. I totally recommend this to anyone who's looking to get into competitive Pokemon, who might be struggling with deck construction. Shout out to Eddie Bulmer for this awesome list that I've seen on Twitter, on Limitless. I'm glad that we could give it a test out and see where the deck really is right now. Power Plant, obviously the MVP of the day. 2 of our opponents out of the 3 totally forgot about Power Plant, and I mean that's one of the reasons why Power Plant's good. You don't want to be shady when it comes to a Power Plant. But I mean on PTCGO it's right there out in the open. Your opponent might just be like blah 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 blah, just playing on autoplay, completely forgetting about Power Plant. Super huge there. That being said, I really appreciate all y'all watching this video up until this point. Thank you so much for all the support. It means the world to me. I know that we got some new subscribers over the past weekend. Y'all are the MVP, and all of my day ones, you are amazing. Thank you so much. All I can do is continuously improve the quality of the content on this channel, make more and more content, really push myself forward as an independent YouTuber. Again, feel free to give this video a like, subscribe, thumbs up, comment below. Let me know what you think. Until next time, I'm going to be creating some more content, so I'll catch up with all y'all later. Have yourselves a great week, and thank you again so much for watching this video. Peace out, y'all. Lone Blount out. Really hope that you enjoyed watching that video. I totally enjoyed making it. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, share the video with everyone that you know, and subscribe to the channel as well. Totally appreciate all the support. We got a lot of cool things happening on the channel, so stay tuned for more. Be sure to check out the social links in the description. Thanks and have yourself a great one.